With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, Swift Motorsports NASCAR Performance Motorsports Truck Series heads off into Chicagoland for race number 8 in season number 2, the Outfit 118. On tap tonight. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. As always, Darkside Dave in the cave bringing you all the calls from the track here tonight. Looks like happy hour already in the books. Drivers beginning to hit the track in this qualifying session, trying to lay down the best time that they can to see who can walk away with yet another pole position here in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. There you can see air temperatures sitting just underneath 80 degrees. Track temperature right there, 105. Pretty hot, pretty slick out there tonight for these Truck Series drivers. We'll have to see who can tame the track tonight. Big debut win last night here at Chicagoland Speedway for Joshua Kanata in the 16. He made his debut with the Ayers Eye Racing Paints Arca Menard Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, sponsored by Swift Motorsports last night. Not in the field here tonight, so not going to see back-to-back race-winning nights here this week so far. But we do have a few drivers out there tonight laying down some qualifying times, trying to get to victory lane tonight, and they have a chance to get there tomorrow night as well. We'll throw that qualifying order up there for you on the left-hand side of the screen. 2 minutes into tonight's 5-minute qualifying session, and I tell you what, it is going to be a very quick qualifying session, gonna be a very quick race tonight. These truck drivers out there putting down some monster laps. Quick time right now, your pole sitter, the 86 of Alan Smith, with a 30.90. And looking at the timing and scoring from second all the way back through the 5th place, all running 30.95 somethings all right there with each other. So that is a tough one on the stopwatch right there. So truck drivers all over each other. This is going to be another big momentum race. This is going to be somewhat of a super speedway race. These drivers going to have to stay tucked in with each other, or they're going to lose the draft and lose a ton of ground in momentum. Very key here at Chicagoland. 13 drivers with a timed lap on the scoring charts. Now make that 17 as Todd Cray puts down his first time lap. 21 slowest on the speed charts right now, 31:20. He's got quite a bit to make up if he's going to try to dethrone your new pole sitter, the 19 of Andy Starcher, just edging out Alan Young down to the 100th to get that one with just under 2 minutes remaining here in qualifying. Doesn't look like we have too many more drivers out there making their qualifying attempts. Ron Schutte right there slotting in just outside the top 5 in the 8th spot. Todd Curry jumps all the way to 3rd now, drops back to 4th as Michael Atkins Jr. puts down his second time lap. He jumps to 3rd on the speed chart. Now 19 drivers on that scoring pylon there. You can see it right there in the center field of Chicagoland Speedway. 20 drivers so far with a time lap. We'll see where Brian Hitz can shake out on his second time lap. Up to speed right now. Very slow first time lap, 31:53. What does Chris Scala have in that 11 machine? Scala very quick last night. Now just 60 seconds remaining here in qualifying. And will anybody be able to dethrone Andy Starcher at the top? Brian Hitz not gonna make it. Can Scala get the job done here in the final 45 seconds? We'll have to keep our eye on that scoring chart. Scala coming around the speedway, about to hit the start-finish line. Can he get the job done? Gonna jump 20th with his first time lap. Does he have enough time to get back around? I don't believe he's gonna have enough time, race fans. We'll jump to this lap right here with Starcher. I don't believe he's gonna be able to make it back to the start-finish line before time runs out. Just about 10 seconds remaining here in qualifying for Starcher to try to come around and cross that start-finish line in his Toyota Tundra. Scala not gonna get that second time. Yes, he does. Gets it 7th on the speed charts there with that second time lap. Big jump by Scala. Heck of a job right there getting that one in right as we were ending the qualifying session. Looks like driver's gonna go through tech and begin to hit the starting grid. So with that being said, we're gonna step away for a brief commercial break, then head down trackside for all your starting lineup here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Final few drivers making their way through final inspection, so we'll run down a little bit of official business for you before we hit the starting lineup. There you can see right there on screen, coming into tonight's race, tied for that first spot, that top spot. Todd Cray, Alan Young right there in a heated battle as we make our way just past the halfway point. Caden Atkins, Edward Bray right there in striking distance. Michael Atkins Jr. still in the mix. Jim Thorndike, Jason Harrison, Nick Hunt, Sebastian Guggen, and Lee Staples round out your top 10 in the points. Other drivers trying to fight and claw and scratch their way to the top of the standings. Austin Hill in the 16, just cracking inside of that championship chase spot. But Austin not here tonight, so Hill going to fall a little bit behind the 8 ball after tonight's race. And oh my goodness, it looks like producers are going ahead and giving us the thumbs up on that, so you'll hear those familiar bells ringing in the background. It's time to give you tonight's starting lineup for the Outfit 118, live here from Chicagoland Speedway, rolling off in the pole position inside row number 1, the 19 of Andy Starcher. The 44 of Jason Harrison gonna line up just to his outside inside row number 2, the 86 of Alan Young, followed by the fast 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. Inside row number 3, Todd Cray just to his outside, Jonathan Holston. Chris Scala gonna slot in the 7th spot. Starting in the 8th position, the 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. Inside row number 5, the 6 of Ryan Branchew, and rounding out your top 10, the 2 of Caden Atkins. Inside row number 6, the 28 of Ron Schutte, followed by the 4 of Jim Ott. Starting in the 13th position, the 84 of Sebastian Guggen, the 00 of Nick Hunt. Just to his outside, Jimmy Cormier and Jim Thorndike in row number 8. John McMillan Sr. followed by David Cameron in row 9. There you see Toby Bird, Timothy Smith rounding out your top 20 as we get set to fire things off, and green flag flies quick here tonight on the gas and in to turn number 1 already. These drivers ready to mix it up, not wasting any time getting on the gas here tonight. Your pole sitter off to a very good start. Starcher down and away from the entire field. Alan Young right now battling on screen. There you can see him with Jason Harrison in the 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. just behind him. There you see that 21 of Todd Cray starting to make his way up inside this battle for the top spot. Already on lap number 1, field mixing it up quite a bit. Battles all over this speedway. We've got this 4-truck battle right here for the 2nd spot. You can go ahead and include that 73 of Jonathan Holston in this mix if you would like. Just behind them, we've got some battles for some positions inside the top 10. Caden Atkins has Ryan Branchew and Nick Hunt. Jim Ott all over them. Ott's going to gain some positions as Hunt falls through the field. Hunt up there on the outside. There you can see that for auto owners. Chevy Silverado piloted by Jim Ott. He's going to take another spot away from Chris Scala, and now Ott up inside the top 10 driver just in front of him. We'll take an eye and we'll take a peek and put our eye on that Precision's Design number 2 for F150. Caden Atkins, fastest driver on the speedway that last time by quick time right now for the race, 30:88. And a change for the guard at the front, and caution flag flies. Ryan Branchew involved. Around on the outside, up into that outside wall, and you see that truck already smoking. That is not a good sign. We'll take a look back with our turn 3 replay. Oh, and there you see, oh my goodness. Looked like an argument over some real estate right there. Nick Hunt into the back of the 6. The 6 up into the wall and flying. That 84 of Sebastian Guggen, my goodness. What a ride he had there. You see that 84 hard into that outside wall and just launched through the air. My God. That is a very rough lick. We'll look at that one more time. Cockpit. Oh my goodness. Oh. Just wanting it to come to a stop and landing on all fours. No power as that engine is just absolutely shot after that one. That was a big time mishap very early in tonight's race. And there you can see Guggen's 84 machine wounded damage down there on pit road. And the 4 of Jim Ott, trouble getting into his box on pit road. My goodness. And looky here, we've got a driver rolling the dice. Caution came out back on lap number 3. John McMillan Sr. saying, nah, it's not time to come to pit road just yet. He's going to stay out on the track. Assume the race lead as long as he doesn't come down pit road this time by. Michael Atkins Jr. first off of pit road. He was your race leader. That's what I was going to... We were about to go to the front for that battle for that top spot as Atkins Jr. was able to get by not only Starcher but also Cray, as Todd Cray in the 21 made a big move to the bottom. The 41 followed him through. Cray slid up. Atkins Jr. continued that run and up to the top spot. And indeed, McMillan Sr. going to come down pit road. That's going to leave the field in the hands of that man right there, always fast and near the front. The 41 of Michael Atkins Jr., new race leader. Looking over there on the TV land side of things, everybody checking in over there on YouTube, and I think that's a pretty good score there, John. A 9.5 on the flip. I mean, you got maybe a 9.3. Didn't stick the landing. And it's easy to make light and make jokes, not being inside of one of those trucks. A little bit of a different scenario when you're behind the wheel. Probably very fired up as that 84 of Sebastian Guggen, pretty much being caught off guard, just driving along, and then boom, up inside the outside wall, and that's pretty much all she wrote, and that is more than likely going to put 2 of our first drivers out of tonight's race. We started tonight with 22 drivers in the Outfit 118 here from Chicagoland Speedway. Already 2 drivers very wounded, and it looks like Jim Ott as well as Nick Hunt. All of those drivers down there. So 4 very torn up race cars very early here tonight, and it does indeed look like Ryan Branchew may be out of tonight's race already. That 6 being shown out and down behind pit wall. I hear you, John. That's where the 0.5 deduction's from. All right, I got it. I got you. Drivers begin to get double file down the backstretch as we set ourselves up to fire things off once again here from Chicagoland Speedway. Caution coming out very early here tonight on lap number 3 after contact between a couple of drivers out there, and carnage chaos ensued, and that's pretty much all she wrote for 4 of the drivers here tonight. That's going to leave us with just 18 on the track, with Michael Atkins Jr. and Todd Cray making up the front row for this restart, waiting for the Ford Mustang pace car to duck off, makes the left-hand turn, and on the gas, the 41 begins to scoot away from the field. Todd Cray right there running in the second spot. Andy Starcher gets away good. Secures that third position pretty well there. Now you can see Stephen Ayers Jr. looking to the bottom. No, actually, that's actually Alan Young. Do apologize. Alan Young in that 86 machine has Jonathan Holston, then Stephen Ayers Jr. in the 62, just behind Ayerson right there. Very distinct lines here for your top 2 runners. Michael Atkins Jr. a little bit lower on the track there than Todd Cray in 3 and 4. We've seen that the first few laps here tonight. Now drivers running right in the tire tracks. And Starcher way up the hill. Starcher goes way up the hill there off of turn number 2. Todd Cray right there trying to reel in your race leader, not yet being able to scoot away from the field. Alan Young sitting in that 3rd spot. Jonathan Holston in 4th. Andy Starcher running in the 5th spot after starting from the pole here tonight. Starcher in the 19 having a little bit of struggles. Gonna jump back to a battle that's just outside of your top 10. There you can see Toby Bird in that 99 machine. Excuse me. And the 99 trying to get up there and make up some ground, trying to take a spot away from John McMillan Sr., Ron Schutte, and Caden Atkins battling for position right there. You see those two truck drivers side by side through 3 and 4. They'll make their way back to the stripe. No advantage for either of them yet as Larry Poling begins to show up. And in the mix, he's going to join this fight for the 13th spot. Schutte to the bottom. He's going to slide up right in front of that 2 of Caden Atkins. They'll both begin to scoot away from Larry Poling, now already falling 0.3 of a second behind. We'll jump back up to the battle inside your top 5. There you can see those 3 trucks. Alan Young, Jonathan Holston, and Andy Starcher all lined up nose to tail as Todd Cray still hounding your race leader, not letting him get away. Cray in striking distance, trying to make the leader look in the rear view mirrors a little bit much force, maybe a mental error and a mistake, and try to capitalize on it if he can. More battles going on the speedway. David Cameron's beginning to close in on Jimmy Cormier. That's a battle for the 8th and 9th position on track. Just behind them, Caden Atkins still all over Ron Schutte. That 13th spot not settled down, not settled in just yet. Alan Young still dealing with Jonathan Holston now as Andy Starcher starts to fall a little bit further off of the pace. And here comes Jason Ayerson in that 44 machine. Just a few truck lengths off of Starcher. When will he get there? Can he take a spot from one of these drivers inside of the top 5? Very close action here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th on the track. Young, Holston, and Starcher continue this battle. Jimmy Cormier, he makes his way by Stephen Ayers Jr. There you can see that battle right there down on the bottom of the speedway. Cormier takes the apron for just that slight moment. That's going to give him just the advantage that he needs. He's going to make his way through turn 1, slide up in front of David Cameron. Right there in the 10 machine, looking to see if he can't grab a spot away from Stephen Ayers Jr. in that wounded Toyota Tundra. Man, that front end has seen some better days here very early in tonight's race for Stephen Ayers Jr., and he's going to lose yet another spot. And here comes John McMillan Sr. and Brian Hitz into the mix. Back at the battle right here, still for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Alan Young still has Holston and Starcher all lined up right with them. Battle for the race lead still underway. Todd Cray looking for a way around. We'll leave it right here, try to bring it as much of the action as we can. There you go. We'll back out just a little bit. Great job out there by all the guys and gals working the cameras here on the Turn 3 Racing Network to try to bring you as much of the action as we can. Battle at the front starting to dissipate just a little bit as Todd Cray begins to lose your race leader. That gap now up to 0.2 of a second. And I know what you're saying, 0.2, well, that's not very much there, Dave, but so far here since the drop of that green flag back on lap number 8 when we restarted after our first caution, this is the biggest this gap has been. Slowly but surely, there you see, clicking off one more 10th. That lap is Michael Atkins Jr. beginning to separate himself as he beginning to step away from the field. There you can see that very wounded 00 of Nick Hunt. He rejoins the race way up high, trying to stay out of all of these lead lap cars way. And very important, looking back through the standings, very important Nick Hunt out there trying to get all the points that he can, because we've only got tonight and 2 more races before the end of the regular season. That's right, you heard it right. Tonight, Chicagoland Speedway, the outfit 118. Race number 8 in the 15 race season, and we've only got 2 more races after this. New Hampshire and Indianapolis Motor Speedway for these drivers to try to put themselves in the points in the top 12 to try to have a shot at the championship here. We'll have to wait and see how all that runs down, and we will adjust some things for you viewers as we go through the chase. But right now, the man on the chase is that 21 of Todd Cray, trying to get back up to that top spot and lead a few laps here, try to gain an extra point. And great. Very familiar to running at the front, has been to victory lane 3 times here in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. Can he make it a 4th here tonight? Can Michael Atkins Jr. break into the winner's column for the 2nd time here in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series? We'll have to wait and see. Very long way to go. Still upwards of 98 laps here on this 1.5 mile. Huge. I would just call it like not necessarily an egg. That's more like Darlington. An oblong oval, I guess. I don't know. Gonna check in on the weather report, see how things are going as far as that track temperature is concerned. And there you can see very, very cool track out there. 81 degrees, over a 20-degree drop from where we seen this during happy hour in qualifying. So as that sun is setting in the background, the track is beginning to cool, and that's going to put a little more grip in these trucks, and that's going to give a little bit more confidence to these drivers as you see Todd Cray begin to reel back in. Your race leader battle for the top spot back underway here on lap number 22, halfway down the backstretch. Todd Cray trying to close that 1.5 truck distance between himself and your race leader, Michael Atkins Jr. And I was looking through timing and scoring, and I almost said Caden Atkins because he has fallen now not just outside of the top 10, but outside of your top 5. There you can see him all the way back here, battling with Larry, polling for that 14th position on the track, and the 28 of Ron Schutte, not very far off and behind them. Just about 0.4 of a second separates Schutte from Atkins, and that 2 machine just not up to par. Not up to par very early here tonight. Back at the front, Andy Starcher continues to try to make up a few more spots after starting tonight's race from that pole position. Andy sitting in that 5th and final spot inside the top 5 has Jason Ayrson in the 44 right behind him. Just 2 seconds off that rear deck lid for Ayrson as Starcher still tries to get up there and run down. Jonathan Holston running in the 4th spot. Alan Moore running 3rd in the battle for the top spot. Still between class of the field here tonight so far. Michael Atkins Jr. and Todd Cray continue this nose-to-tail battle as they head off into turn 3. And I tell you what, let's see if we can't take a look back from that rear deck lid of that 41. There you can see it looking back at Todd Cray, just how close that gap really is. It's a lot closer than you may think. Under 0.2 of a second separates your race leader from Todd Cray, running a fast and very methodical 2nd place. Still looking to the inside, not going to get there just yet. He's able to run about a half a truck lower on the entry, I'm noticing here for Cray. That very well may be what's letting that truck rotate through the center and letting him put the power down off, get that forward bite up and out of the corners. Not necessarily needing as much forward bite as you would think here in this very open, wide, sweeping exit at Chicagoland Speedway, but still that grip very important when you put the power down. Gonna step away from this battle at the front of the field for just a quick moment. Go jump back here with Stephen Ayers Jr., driver inside of this 62 machine. He's trying to make his way up to Toby Bird just off in front of them. We'll join this battle right here. Ron Schutte has Toby Bird right there. Caden Atkins just off in front of Schutte. Can he get that Serve Pro 28? Excuse me. That Serve Pro 28 Toyota Tundra Up inside the top 15 now, running in that 15th spot, looking for more shooting. Has lost 4 spots from where he started tonight's race, but slowly moving back in the right direction. Another battle on the track right here between that 59 of Jim Thorndike. He's got the 22 of Brian Hitz just behind him. Hitz with some big damage on the rear end of his 22 machine. You could see somebody, I don't want to do it. Somebody ran into the back end of that Snap-on 22 being piloted by Brian Hitz. That Ford F-150 might need a little bit of repair time down there on pit road. Try to get the rear end fixed up just a little bit further through the field, up just inside of your top 10. Battle on the speedway between the 11 of Chris Scala, John McMillan Sr. running strong here tonight inside the top 10, running in the 9th position. Another battle to go to right here, just off outside of your top 3. Jonathan Holston has Andy Starcher looking to the inside. Holston way at the top. A lot of space between these two drivers. They're going to work their way off of turn 2, slowly work their way back together, and Starcher pulling off the pass. Starcher goes back to 4th. The 73 deep into turn 3. He's going to lose some ground to the center, and Starcher steps away. Michael Atkins Jr. early pit stop. He's already on pit road. Jimmy Cormier also bringing his 95 to pit road this time by. Is it already time for those green flag pit stops? None of these drivers since lap number 4, so that's about 28 laps of fuel. Not sure if these drivers may be working this thing backwards. We'll have to keep our eye on the pit lane. Stephen Ayers Jr. also one of those drivers heading down pit road. He is in his box now. Nobody else coming to pit road. Jason Ayerson breaks off. He comes to pit road this time by. David Cameron in the 10. He continues the parade of cars down pit road. The 22 of Brian Hitz, Ron Schutte, and Larry Poling also coming to pit road that time by. Staying out on the track, how long will this man stay out? New race leader, and he's going to go ahead and bring it to pit road this time by. Todd Cray pits from the lead. Alan Young going to follow him. Andy Starcher, Jonathan Holston. What will Scala do? Scala's going to stay out on track and lead a lap. The 11 going to go one more time by. John McMillan Sr. also sitting right there in that second spot, up 15 spots now from where he started tonight's race, but still yet to make his pit stop. Jim Thorndike, also one of those drivers yet to make his pit stop. Thorndike did come to pit road under that last caution. The first and only caution we had back on lap number 3. We have been green flag racing for upwards of, I believe about 25 to 28 laps so far here tonight, and all of those drivers going to come to pit road this time by. What will happen here? Todd Cray making his way off of pit road, getting up to speed. There you see the blend line. He's going to rejoin the track, but here comes Michael Atkins Jr. with a head of steam down the backstretch. Not being able to get the job done, Michael Atkins Jr. gonna fall short just a little bit, and it looks like that pit road delta, that on and off pit road, Todd Cray absolutely blazing fast here tonight. 39.73 seconds getting on and off pit road. That is almost 3 seconds gained right there by Todd Cray. Michael Atkins Jr. sitting behind him, 42.77 seconds on and off pit road. So that is indeed a 3 second quicker pit road delta for your race leader, Todd Cray. What a job getting that done. Battle at the front will continue to be nose to tail, but now those drivers are flip-flopped. Quickest lap of the race on the board that time by 30.86 for Todd Cray. And as I was saying, that the battle scenario, these two drivers, they were battling the entire run there before the green flag pit stops. Todd Cray was trying to hound and hunt down the race lead from that 41, not able to do so just yet. Now the GTR simulator machine of Michael Atkins Jr. looks to take that top spot away once again. And Michael Atkins Jr. keeps looking to the inside. Keeps looking to the inside on entry there. You can see him take a peek once again. Not sure if he's trying to bait Cray into running that low line and giving him the high side with a run, but Cray definitely not coming off the bottom of the speedway as they make their way to the back end of Andy Starcher. And Starcher has had some trouble. The front end of that 19 has seen some better days. We'll take a look through the scoring chart, see if we see anything happening there to Starcher. And we're not seeing anything out there as far as an incident report involving Starcher, so may have got into the back end of somebody coming to pit road. Not quite sure how it all happened, how it all went down, but nonetheless, Starcher wounded. And now, off of the lead lap, first car being scored off of the lead lap, running in the 15th position. But Stephen Ayers Jr., he is right here, right on the verge of going a one lap down, running in the 14th spot. Larry Poling, there you see Nick Hunt going down one more lap. Larry Poling just off in the distance in front of these race leaders as well. And they have absolutely stepped away from the field. A 10-second advantage back to the third place runner on the track, the 86 of Alan Young. There you can see him just now getting to that start finish line. So your race leaders almost a half of a track ahead of your third place runner, Alan Young. Jason Ayerson with a good recovery there through that green flag pit cycle. He'll make his way inside the top five into the fourth spot. Jonathan Holston now running in fifth. Jimmy Cormier, what a run by this 95, up 9 spots from where he started tonight's race, knocking on the door of a top 5. We will jump back to this battle for the top spot here with Todd Cray and Michael Atkins Jr. as they continue this run here. And now slowly stepping away is Todd Cray. Looks like the dirty air not agreeing with that 41 machine piloted by Michael Atkins Jr. He has not been able to make his way up and around Cray just yet. And it looks like there for a minute he was trying that inside lane, Could he have possibly already burned up the tires a little bit too much, maybe laying back right now for a little bit of a run later on? Drivers should be able to make it somewhere around lap number 70 before they have to come back down to pit road. We'll have to wait and see how all that shakes out. How many green flag pit stops will we see here tonight, race fans? I tell you what, everybody out there in TV land, why don't you chime in? Tell us what you think. I'm going to say we're going to get 3 green pit stops in here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway in the Performance Motorsports Outfit 118 right here in Swift Motorsports on iRacing.com. And there you can see, looks like drivers coming to pit road. I do believe that was Timothy Smith in the 37 coming to pit road that time by Smith. Indeed, down pit road now, bringing his wounded Toyota Tundra down for some more service. Nick Hunt back down onto pit road for an extended stay. He's still trying to fix that machine, still trying to gain what he can when he can. But the man looking to gain that top spot and gain that points lead back all to himself. The 21 of Todd Cray continues to lead Michael Atkins Jr. Looks like it's going to be a split of the green flag pit stops. Michael Atkins Jr. leading the majority of the race until that green flag pit stop. And now Todd Cray with a great on and off pit road lap takes the race lead and begins to step away from that 41 just a little bit lap after lap. Distance between your top two now upwards of a half a second, so Cray definitely on the move. looking for some battles on the speedway. This looks like the next closest battle right here. Alan Young, Jason Harrison, Jonathan Holston all lined up. I don't want to say nose to tail because there's quite a bit of distance between these drivers. About a half a second separates each one of these drivers, but that is the closest battle on the track so far here tonight. Trying to give you a little bit of insight on the lap times here. Quickest time of tonight's race set by that 21 of Todd Cray, 30.85. Last time by your race leader, Todd Cray, ran a 31.62, so almost a second fall off from that quick time that Cray set back during that first green flag run that we had. And just not really having the pace right now. Looks like some of these drivers actually falling off on the speed charts, not actually gaining a little bit with the track cooling off. We would have expected to have seen that trend go the opposite direction. We would have expected to see the speeds climb just a little bit. Those lap times go down slightly, but still, these drivers losing a little bit of time back to the front right here. This man, Todd Cray, almost a 1 second lead now over Michael Atkins Jr., who is just absolutely fallen to the wayside. Close battle right here, just outside of your top 10. John McMillan Sr. looking to take away that 10th spot. Brian Hitz is going to give that inside lane up, going to give the spot to John McMillan Sr. now running inside the top 10, and Hitz still running very well here tonight, still up 10 spots from where he started tonight's race, running in the 11th position after starting way back in 21st. And how about this man right here, slowly but surely, Larry Poling in the 69 up in the 13th position. He has gained 12 spots in tonight's race. So Poling doing a heck of a job out there, making up some ground in that Mountain Dew Baja Blast Chevy Silverado. There is your race leader, not very far off the tail end of that 69 of Larry Poling, and David Cameron right there just in front of your race leader as well. Cameron being scored off of the lead lap back in the 16th position, down one lap here. Very I keep wanting to say very early, but these drivers, they have laid down some laps, man. Already on lap number 52, closing in on the halfway point here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway in the Performance Motorsports Truck Series here by Swift Motorsports on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Glad you could all join us out there tonight. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, getting notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're just casually sliding through or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We do appreciate each and every one of you as you see your race leader, fan favorite out there on the TV land side of things. Todd Cray dominating this second green flag run. He's going to put a few more drivers down a lap, closing in now on that 69 of Larry Poling, and he has opened the gap to 1.5 seconds. Michael Atkins Jr. almost out of the picture. And as we inch closer to that halfway point, why don't we go ahead and visit a few of the drivers around the track here as they run. Right there, man, on screen in the top spot, your race leader, the 21 of Todd Cray. Cray with a solid run here tonight, started back in the 5th position now with that top spot, and we've seen him be fast that entire first green flag run. He was hounding your race leader, just looking for a way around. Excuse me. just looking for a way around, and he has done so with a great on and off pit road lap, and just absolutely took that advantage and has begun to set sail on the field. Knocking on the door of a 2-second lead is your race leader, man on screen, the 21 of Todd Cray. Early race leader here tonight, very fast as always, and at the front, the 41 Chevy, the Silverado, piloted by Michael Atkins Jr. He gave that GTR simulator machine all it could handle during that first green flag run, but has since fallen off of the pace just a little bit and losing a little bit of ground lap after lap to your race leader, but slotted in that second spot as we run right now on lap 57. Michael Atkins Jr. with a solid run going on. And right where he started tonight's race, Dalton's very own Alan Young in that 86 machine, still sitting in that third spot. Young is going to need a caution. Looking at the timing and scoring, he's over 10 seconds off of the back end of Michael Atkins Jr. and now 12 seconds behind your race leader, Alan Young, and the rest of the field. They're going to need a caution to try to catch back up, but we'll continue our driver showcase here tonight. Jason Ayrson running strong. Ayrson running in the fourth position right now. Driver out of JP Motorsports, sponsored by Dragon's Garden and Pure Ink. The 46-year-old Ayrson running strong here, running in that fourth spot as Michael Atkins Jr. brings his machine to pit road. Do want to mention a few other good drivers out there. Well, they're all good, but good moving drivers right now. Keeping himself on the lead lap, Larry Poling getting the job done. And that 69 machine up 12 spots from where he started tonight's race. Still running in that 13th position as we've got green flag pit cycles underway. Michael Atkins Jr., Jason Ayrson, and Jimmy Cormier all come to pit road that time by. Looks like more drivers coming this time by. The 22 of Brian Hitz, as well as the 99 of Cormier in the 69 of Poling. They all bring their machines down pit road, so we'll jump back to your race leader. When will this 21 come down pit road just past the halfway point here on lap number 60 out of the 118 scheduled in tonight's The Outfit 118, live here from Chicagoland Speedway. On the brakes, trying to get it woed down, out of shape a little, on the brake again. Ooh, speed looks good. Looks like a great entry to pit road there for Todd Cray yet again. We'll jump back out here on the track. There you can see Jonathan Holston. He's making his way off of turn 4 and down to pit road. Alan Young brought his machine to pit road that last time by as well. Chris Scala going to stay out to lead a lap. He'll take over the lead of the race. New race leader, your fourth race leader of the race. Or actually, Scala already led here, so still your fourth because we had Starcher, Atkins, and Scala. And Cray, and let's see, John McMillan Sr. actually led a lap or two out here tonight as well. Will this 75 stay out? No, he's going to go ahead and bring it to pit road this time by, so we'll rejoin the track at what should be the eventual race leader once again. And how much has he gained this time? Almost 4 seconds faster on and off pit road. My goodness, Todd Cray putting on a pit road entry and exit clinic here tonight. 4 seconds faster than Michael Atkins Jr. on and off pit road that time by, and that has translated into a 3.2 second advantage for Cray over the field right now. Michael Atkins Jr. falling to the wayside, and Alan Young a little bit faster on pit road, but still losing some time. 12 seconds now separates himself from your race leader. Not a lot of battles at all to speak of. Jason Ayrson, there you can see that 44 Auto Owners machine trying to make his way up there to the driver just in front of him. That's Alan Young in the 86. These truck drivers pretty spread out here tonight in race number 8 and season number 2 for Swift Motorsports Performance Truck Series. Back to another closer battle right here. You can see the two of Caden Atkins. He begins to close in on the 95 of Jimmy Cormier. That's a battle for the 7th and 8th spot on the track. Jim Thorndike with a good solid run here tonight so far, up 7 spots from where he started tonight's race, running in the 9th position. And as the field inches closer to the 70-lap mark here tonight, let's go ahead and run down a little bit of house cleaning for you here. We started tonight's race with 22 drivers on the starting grid. We have still got 17 drivers out there on the track with just 14 left. Or actually, I believe there is less than 14. There is only 9 drivers left on the lead lap. Jim Thorndike, last driver on the lead lap, and he is not very far in front of your race leader at the front right now. Your race leader sitting right there on the screen, front and center. Todd Cray putting on a clinic at Chicago. And we do have a battle underway. Looky here. Jonathan Holston makes up some ground, gains some time. He is all over the back end of that 44 of Jason Harrison. That's a battle inside the top 5, running in the 4th and 5th position. Holston to the bottom, down the backstretch, side by side for the 4th spot. Holston with the advantage, and it looks like Harrison going to go ahead and give him that spot. Runs that middle lane, going to give up a ton of time through the center of 3 and 4. And now Holston back inside the top 5, back running in the 4th position, up 2 spots from where he started tonight's race, back in 6th. And as that battle dissipates just a little, we'll jump back to this battle that's beginning to grow. The 69 of Larry Poling. He's looking for a spot on Toby Bird. That is a battle off of the lead lap, but still is a battle for position 11th on the speedway. Can Poling get that Mountain Dew Baja Blast Chevy Silverado powered down on the corner exit? There you can see him make up a ton of ground down the backstretch, all over the rear deck lid now. And looking at our cameras, tell you what, why don't we go down on board with Poling? Poling carrying one of our turn 3 onboard cameras. And as these two drivers continue to battle, the 99 of Toby Bird and Larry Poling right here, driving right here with Poling as he's trying to make this pass. They are slowly but surely winding in. O'Brien hits right there in that 22 machine, hits very damaged. The back end of his machine caved in. The rear bumper, the spoiler, has seen some better days. And way up the track goes Poling into one that time. He's going to lose some ground out of 2. Lap 71 now on the board out of the 118 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. We have seen a long green flag run here at Chicagoland Speedway. Only one caution so far here tonight, and that came out way back on lap number 3, so a 69. Well, you got to count those caution laps too, so let's call it a 65 lap green flag run here. These drivers all last onto pit road just about 12 laps ago. We should see them back down to pit road here in another 15 laps or so, and that will be the final stop of the race for most of these drivers. Have they got any strategy to try to play to try to catch up to your race leader, Todd Cray? Man, he has stepped away. He's let the field catch him a little bit here, and I say let, but the gap has dropped from just about 3.22 seconds from where we started on that second end of the green flag pit stop, down to just 1.3 seconds that time by. And Michael Atkins Jr. is a little bit quicker lap after lap for the last 5 laps. Last time by 31.64 for Todd Cray with a 31.61 for Michael Atkins Jr. One of those fastest drivers on the speedway right now, and absolutely was the fastest driver that last time by. So Michael Atkins Jr. with a fire lit underneath him, trying to get back up to this infinite hero, 21 of Todd Cray. Jimmy Cormier with a battle on his hands. There you can see him right there. Oh, close quarters racing with a lap machine. Jimmy Cormier almost into the side of the 19 of Starcher. Starcher almost had some more trouble here as Cormier trying to run down that Precision's Design number 2, piloted by Gaden Atkins. That Ford F-150 has looked pretty strong here tonight. Both of these drivers still sitting on the lead lap, but both of these drivers very close to being put off of the lead lap, and I think that might be why business is picking up right here just inside of your top 10 battle for the 7th and 8th spot on track. Ron Schutte side by side with David Cameron for just a brief moment, tried to catch that action, and just off in the distance, there's your race leader once again coming into play. And he is going to run himself right into a ton of lap traffic here in the next few laps. He's got Jim Thorndike in the GTR Simulator, Chevy Silverado just off in front of him. Thorndike trying desperately to stay on the lead lap here as we close in on our 3rd round of green flag pit stops. Lap 77 now underway, coming to the line to begin lap number 78 out of the 118 scheduled in tonight's official race distance for the Outfit 118 in Swift Motorsports Performance Motorsports Truck Series here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. If you're thinking about driving it, if you've wanted to drive it, head on over to iRacing.com. All cars, tracks scanned with laser precision and developed with pretty great physics. As you see that 21 of Cray go to the bottom, he is going to take and put Jim Thorndike down off of the lead lap. So Thorndike now in the lucky dog position, and as Cray has made his way through this field, Michael Atkins Jr. has closed that gap, now back down to just 1.1 seconds, so just over a second advantage for Todd Cray. So all that 3 seconds, it has gone away. It has dropped, and Michael Atkins Jr. is on the charge. Gonna jump to this battle right here once again between Caden Atkins Jr. and Jimmy Cormier. We'll keep our eye on the gap between your top 2 drivers, Todd Cray and Michael Atkins Jr., as they still have quite a commanding lead over the rest of the field. Alan Young still in 3rd, 4th place is Jonathan Holston, and rounding out your top 5, the 44 of Jason Ayerson. This is the battle right here just outside of that top 5. 7th and 8th on the track. Jimmy Cormier trying to see if he can get up there and get a spot away from that 2 of Caden Atkins. They're going to have your race leader Todd Cray breathing down their neck here very, very shortly, just about 4 seconds off in front of your race leader. Not able to see him in the picture just yet, so still sitting somewhat comfortably as your race leader Todd Cray is going to cross the line. He'll begin lap number 83 out of the 118 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. And my goodness, race fans, I told you it was going to be a fast-paced race here tonight. I wasn't kidding. Only one caution so far here tonight, all the way back on lap number 3. And since the green flag pit stops began, this man right here has been class of the field each and every time on and off pit road. My goodness, he has been putting on quite a clinic with that. Upwards, the closest person to him with a 41.90 So that's still almost a 2-second gain on and off pit road. So that 21 absolutely nailing it here tonight. He's going to put the 28 of Ron Schutte, that Serve Pro machine, has had a rough go at it here tonight. Caught up very early in an incident and now being scored multiple laps down here tonight, running in the 17th position. And still continuing to chase him down, Michael Ekins Jr. Let's take a look right here. The Beast is here right on the side of that GTR Simulator Chevy's Silverado. Man, I tell you what, I don't know where he has found the speed, but he has picked up the pace 0.2 faster than your race leader that time by lead. Now under a second as these drivers inch in closer and closer to what may very well be their final pit stop of the night. Lap 85 on the board now as your race leader Todd Gray. Oh, and into the outside wall goes Starcher. Starcher with some trouble into the outside wall, and Michael Ekins Jr. is going to come to pit road. Tires falling off a little bit maybe there for Michael Ekins Jr. He's going to go ahead and come to pit road that time by Ron Schutte. Also going to bring his machine down pit road. The 22 of Brian Hitz going to join them as well. Trying to keep my eye on this timing and scoring for Michael Ekins Jr. Let's see if that pit crew can nail this money stop here for that 41, trying to see if they can get him a little bit closer and possibly take that race lead back. 15.07 in the box, 42.62 on and off pit road. So a little bit of an improvement that time by on and off pit road for Michael Ekins Jr. He's going to force Todd Cray and his crew to nail it as Jason Harrison, Jimmy Cormier, Toby Bird, and Larry Poling bring their machines to pit road. Race leader Todd Cray going to come to pit road this time as well. The 86 will assume the race lead. We'll wait and see if he brings it to pit road high above the track here tonight with the turn 3 drone cam. And indeed, Alan Young going to bring it to pit road. Where is Michael Ekins Jr.? There he is heading off into turn number 3. I believe that is turn number 3. Actually, that was turn number 2 as he heads down the backstretch and into turn 3. Keeping our eye on Todd Cray. Gonna look at this pit road delta and see where it shakes out. Coming through the tri-oval, here comes Michael Ekins Jr. He is on a rolling up to speed. Can he close the distance? Can he close the grounding? Try to capture that top spot. Steal the race lead away from Todd Cray as Jim Thorndike takes the race lead, and big run by the 41. He's going to pass Cray. No, not going to do it. 3 wide for the lead. Oh my goodness. Drivers on the lead lap. Drivers trying to struggle to stay on the lead lap. Drivers fighting for the top spot for the race lead. 3 wide once again. Oh, and contact. Contact between the 95 and the 41. Ekins Jr. gets loose, saves it up there. Oh my goodness, he had a handful, kept it out of the wall, but I believe that very well may have done him in. He has lost a ton of ground now to Todd Cray. Cray out to over a second lead, trying to scoot away from Michael Ekins Jr. Oh my goodness. What a close moment there with the 95 of Jimmy Cormier, who's being scored as the first car off of the lead lap in that lucky dog position, trying to make up some ground. Caden Atkins trying to stay on the lead lap, and my goodness, with this fast pace here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I told you it was going to happen. I told you we were going to get this thing in the books very quickly here tonight. Had no idea it was going to be this quick. Had no idea this man right here leading tonight's race has already secured the most laps led award here tonight in the Outfit 118 in race number 8 of season number 2 for the Performance Motorsports Truck Series here in Swift. Todd Cray, man, I tell you, he has done a heck of a job out there. Now only 5 drivers left on the lead lap here tonight. That just lets you know the kind of pace that Cray is putting down. Last time by 30.94. Michael Atkins Jr. with a 31.15. Fastest man on the track last time by was that 73 of Jonathan Holston. Ran a 30.90, so just a tick faster than your race leader, but quite a bit behind. Almost 20 seconds behind your race leader to be exact, as Caden Atkins Jr. very close to being put 1 lap down, and that will mean a driver inside our top 5 is a lap down. What a dominating performance here tonight all around for Todd Cray on the racetrack, on pit road. Driver able to make his truck get on and off pit road faster than anybody else all race long. Todd Cray has just been on it here tonight. I don't know if it's a Cinderella story, a Cinderella moment for him. I don't know, but Chicagoland Speedway has got to be on the favorite list for Cray. He has absolutely put a waxing on the field here, and since taking that lead right there after that last green flag pit stop, Cray has been able to step away now to over a 2-second advantage back to Michael Atkins Jr. The only thing we're going to think about here, race fans, is fuel. Do these drivers have enough fuel? And I don't think they do, because Michael Atkins Jr. has come back to pit road. Already back to pit road after being down on pit road just a handful of laps ago. I mean, it was within 10 laps ago. Michael Atkins Jr. was on pit road, and he is back to pit road once again. We'll keep an eye, see if it's just a right side or a splash. We'll see how it is. And it looks like right sides only. Yes, right sides on 1 can of fuel for Michael Atkins Jr., so he could not make it the distance on that fuel cell. And Todd Cray, he's not letting up. We do have an onboard camera shot here with Todd Cray, so why don't we go on board now with your race leader, the 21 of Todd Cray. Cray in some heavy lap traffic right here as he continues to try to put more drivers down 1 lap. Caden Atkins Jr. right there just off in front of the 69 of Larry Poling, who's trying to stay just 1 lap down. Poling now gonna fall victim and go 2 laps down as Todd Cray just continues this enormous pace here. Shift sides from the gyro cam over here to the driver's visor cam. Do want to give Todd and the entire 21 crew a big time shout out for allowing us to put multiple cameras on the truck here tonight, trying to bring us some great action shots as you watch, as he is just leaps and bounds faster than most of the drivers out there on the field here tonight. Just absolutely eating up that 2 of Caden Atkins going down the back stretch and into turn number 3. We'll jump back outside the truck and ride with that 21 some more around this track here, as he is just absolutely still making it look easy, man. I was gonna say making the field look silly, but it's not the field. The field has got the speed. They have got the timing on the speed charts. The lap times are there. Just Todd Cray has been able to be hammered down on and off pit road every single time, and when you're able to beat the field 2-3 seconds a time on and off pit road, well, that's going to add up quickly when you have 3 or 4 green flag pit stops. Now Cray going to peel off and come to pit road for what should be the final time of the race here tonight. And look, that just lets you know he's already on to pit road, halfway down pit lane, and just now Alan Young running in the 2nd position, just now making his way through 3 and 4 and back across the line. Young gonna assume the race lead. New race leader on lap number 99 out of the 118 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. Alan Young gonna put a point in his back pocket. We'll wait for some of this green flag pit cycle to run itself through here for just a brief moment, but do want to take a second to try to see where our pole sitter is here. Andy Starcher walking away with the pole here tonight, and now that 19 Monster Energy Performance Motorsports truck is sitting back in the 12th spot, 11 spots down from where he started tonight's race, so a rough go for that 19 of Starcher. Jason Harrison going to bring his 44 machine to pit road that time by for what should be the final time. I say the final time, but should we see a late caution? We may very well may see multiple drivers. Oh, very close entry right there for Alan Young. Talking about pushing the limits on entry. And that's going to give the lead to this man right here. We're staying with these drivers as they make their pit road entries because we very well may see some trouble coming to pit road. Jonathan Holston last on to pit road back on lap 87. He's not going to have enough fuel to make it to the end, so how long will he stay out and how much fuel will he need to get to the end? Brian hits in the 22 machine, trying to make his way by, trying to get himself oh so close to getting back on the lead lap, and Hit's able to get himself back onto the lead lap once again. Now running in the 8th position. When will Holston hit pit road? When will Caden Atkins as well as Chris Scala hit pit road? And my goodness, race fans, look at the flip-flop here. Fresh tires for Todd Cray in the 21. That's going to give Michael Atkins Jr. quite a bit of an advantage. He's going to have a few seconds now. It looks like just about a 1 second deficit for Todd Craig. Going to jump back here for one quick look at this one. There you can see Michael Atkins Jr., the 2 tires in fuel for the 41. That put him back in front of Todd Cray, but Cray does have those 4 fresh Goodyear tires, and he is starting to eat up Michael Atkins Jr. as they make their way down the backstretch and into some lap traffic. The back markers 2 and 3 wide in front of what very well may be the drivers fighting for the top spot. Jonathan Holston, Caden Atkins, as well as Chris Scala yet to hit pit road for the final time. Do they have enough fuel to make it to the end? And you know, I ask if they have enough fuel to make it to the end, but I'm not sure it's really gonna matter. Because Todd Cray, he has closed in. He's right there near that 11 of Chris Scala. There you can see Scala off in the foreground, first driver in this train of cars. As we continue to watch Michael Atkins Jr. try to make his way by the 99 of Jonathan Holston. The 99 is actually Toby Bird. Jonathan Holston, still your race leader, still staying out on the track. Chris Scala looking to gain some ground, and Todd Cray has been able to get by with those fresh tires. We looked for just a minute back in the back, and Cray, just like that, flash in the pan. Boom, gone. Cray back into the top spot. As we await the 73 of Jonathan Holston to come to pit road. Should be seeing him hit pit road anytime here. And it looks like that gamble for the 2 tires to try to get a little bit of track position did not work out after all for Michael Atkins Jr. He is now, it looks like about a second or so off of Todd Cray, and continuing to stay out there is Jonathan Holston. We'll jump back up here with that 73. Give this man his due at the front of the field with this strategy, because if we get a caution at this point, he's going to be sitting very pretty. So Holston, still your race leader, still out on track. And there you see Dunbar, West Virginia, 35-year-old Jonathan Holston stays out on track yet again. Ken Holston knock and kick in the door to victory lane. We'll have to see if he can stay out for another 10 laps here tonight and see if he can keep the fast and hard charging. 21 of Todd Cray behind him as well. 2.6 seconds separate the man on screen right here, your race leader, Jonathan Holston, from Todd Cray. Now 2.5 seconds separate those two drivers. You're not able to quite see Cray in the picture just yet, and that's exactly the way that Jonathan Holston's gonna want to keep this thing. That gap now down to just about 2 seconds, so a half a second faster that last time by for Cray. And there you can see that 21 off in the distance. He is on the move, on the hunt, and on his way back to the top spot. Jonathan Holston trying to hang on, trying to stretch the fuel, trying to snatch one away late here from Chicagoland Speedway in the Outfit 118 for Performance Motorsports Truck Series right here on Swift. Glad you could all join us here tonight. If you haven't already, race fans, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by, whether you're just casually sliding on through or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. Without you, there'd be no us, so we do salute each and every one of you. And what a great run we have had here tonight. And Todd Cray, he has closed the distance, and now looking for that top spot, goes to the inside, and he's going to grab that spot away from Holston. Holston back to second. Now that Jonathan Holston has given up that race lead, how long will he continue this run? How long will he stay out on track? Does he have enough to go another 6 laps here at Chicagoland Speedway? That's going to be a big ask out of the fuel cell to try to make it that far. Not sure he's going to be able to make that last onto pit road on lap number 87, so that is going to be quite a stretch for that 73, but he continues on the speedway, continues to try to snatch possibly a podium out of this thing. And what a run as well for Chris Scala. Scala staying out on the track. The 11 slotted inside the top 5 right now, running in that 4th position. High five for your race leader. Last time by, just 5 laps remaining for the 21 of Todd Cray to go ahead and seal the deal on a very dominating performance here tonight. And even though he was on pit road about 5.5 seconds longer than Michael Atkins Jr., he was able to eat him up with those 4 fresh tires to Atkins Jr.'s 2 fresh tires. And ooh, tough break there for that 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. He is not going to have enough to get back to the front of this field and battle for the race lead. So as Todd Cray continues to step away, we're going to jump back. Oh, and Jonathan Holston, he's going to go ahead and break for pit road. Holston going to lose a ton of spots late in the going here with just 3 laps remaining. Holston brings the 73 to pit road. Chris Scala continues to run out on the track, and Ken Scala, we're going to keep our eye on Scala for just a brief moment, ladies and gentlemen. Ken Scala stretched the fuel as well. Last on to pit road on lap number 89. Ken Scala, keep it wound up. Can he bring this thing to the end? And it does sound like he is definitely out of the gas here, trying to save all he can. 2 to go for your race leader, Todd Cray, with no one in sight. 5.6 and climbing. Race advantage for Todd Cray as he comes to the start-finish line. White flag, final lap for the 21 of Todd Cray. Gonna head off into turn number 1 for the final time, an exit of 2. Only has to keep this thing straight and clean to the end one more time down the back stretch, now into turn number 3 for the final time. Dominating performance here tonight, especially when it came to those green flag pit stops. Todd Cray out of turn 4 back to the stripe. Race winner, checkered flag in hand, the 21 of Todd Cray. Oh my goodness. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you win a race. My goodness, Todd Cray getting the job done here tonight. Heck of a run, heck of a performance. And if anybody wants to know how to get on and off pit road, if they don't call Cray first, I don't know what I can do for you. What a run, what a race for that man on screen right there. He's going to enjoy a little bit of post-race celebrations, and I wonder why the audio just kind of went silent there for a minute. Todd Cray enjoying his post-race celebrations. And with that being said, race fans, we're going to take a brief commercial break, get things set up for our post-race interview, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And back trackside at the completion of tonight's The Outfit 118 here, the Performance Motorsports Truck Series. There you can see your running owner over there on the top left-hand side of your screen. Let's see if we can't go now to with a few of the drivers that finished in the podium spots here tonight, if I could ever spit it out. Walking away into the third position here tonight, final spot in the podium, the 86 of Alan Young. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Loud and clear.
Hey, man, heck of a run there for you here tonight. You started in the third position. You finished in the third position. How was the truck for you all night long?
Truck was perfect. I just lacked the speed to hang with Michael and Todd there. I felt like I was staying with them the first run, and then after the first round of pit stops, I lost like 8 seconds somehow. So at that point, it was kind of the nail in the coffin unless we had a caution. So.
Well, Alan, walk us through a little bit of the mindset looking forward in the points here. You came into tonight's race in second. We've only got 2 more races left now after this one is in the books. We head to New Hampshire and then to Indy. How are you sizing up the field for the chase, and are you ready for that championship run?
Yeah, I know kind of who's going to be the tough ones. Michael's going to be there. Todd's going to be there. A couple other guys that are just kind of hanging out are definitely going to be there. But yeah, I'm definitely ready for this run for the championship. I feel like we've been steady all year. We just got to turn it up a notch, and I think New Hampshire is the place for us to do it. Home state, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, my man. Well, again, Alan, a heck of a run out there for you tonight. Congratulations on the third place finish. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that 86 truck?
Yeah, my mom, my dad, my brother, who also owns Young's Guns Creations, one of my primary sponsors, my kiddos, and then obviously LA Sim Sport. Got to thank them guys. And FSM Customs for coming on board this year. We've struck a deal with them and been making them proud. So,
well, we hope you continue to do so, and we look forward to catching up with you as we continue this run to the championship. There you have it. Final words from the driver walking away in the third and final podium spot here tonight in the Outfit 118, the 86 of Alan Young. That's going to bring us to the driver that finished in the second place here tonight, walking away with yet another solid finish in second place here tonight. The 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
Hey, brother. Heck of a job. Heck of a run there for you. Snatched the race lead early, but during the green flag pit cycle, you kind of lost the lead and you were playing catch up after that. How was the truck in the dirty air?
Truck, honestly, felt pretty good. I'm pretty sure last week with the older wheel I had, I would have said, man, this thing sucks. But, just being so tight. But at this track. But with the new wheel that I upgraded to, the truck felt comfortable. And teammate hours and team speak spectating, he was kind of like, he's like, well, one thing I'm seeing you doing is this, and I know Craig's going to listen to the interview, so I won't say exactly what he said, but told me, but he kind of gave me advice on it, and I corrected it, and we just kept slowly gaining back on him throughout the run and stops and everything, and went side by side with Todd Crave, which would have been what would have been for the lead, and the 95 just kind of squeezed me a little bit, and this guy into my right rear, and they said it lifted my right rear spoiler jacked it up in the air a little bit, just a hair, so that was enough to make like a parachute, just slow me down, so we were just on even playing fields after that. But all in all, it's a second place finish. We led 28 laps. Can't say we didn't at least get out front and lead and show we had something to win the race tonight. And we'll just walk away with a solid top 5, top 3 finish and come close to maximizing on points and get even closer to making sure we're in the chase.
Well, you mentioned maximizing the points here tonight. You got some points for leading some laps. You finished inside the top 5, inside the top 3, up in the second spot. You came into tonight's race just 15 points out of the race lead, so I do believe that you're going to be pretty secure as far as the championship is concerned, or at least the chase is concerned. So we're going to shift gears to that and talk about the chase. How is this 41 crew feeling as the chase is just right around the corner, just 2 weeks? Well, 3 if you count the off week, just 3 weeks away.
We're feeling pretty confident. One thing I've learned on our racing and doing league races is you can't really count your chickens and eggs before they hatch. So we're still gonna come out each week and not be complacent and kind of go balls to the walls and see if we can pick up a win or two more here before the chase starts. And always look at each race as if it's a playoff race. So I think that's the only way you can carry momentum throughout and possibly win the championship.
Well, Michael, it has been an absolute pleasure catching up with you tonight, as well as it's been all season long. Been great to watch you run throughout the season. Wish you the best as we get ready to switch gears into the championship run and into the chase here just in the next coming weeks. But before we get all that done, let's go ahead and give you a chance at the mic here. You want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous? Thank anybody on the side of that 41?
Yeah, shout out to Todd Gray he's always a hard racer and teammate with me with ECM servers, ECM team on official series. And I appreciate clean racing out of him. Also, I do it every week. All the admins, the league owner with Swift, Chad Kern with ECM, Darren Clement with ECM, and then you got Don Kidder with Performance Motorsports, Sandy Starcher, Hyperdrive, all of them. Just also my family. I didn't mention them last week. I didn't include them and my 2 boys. So, yeah, just out here having fun. That's what it's all about.
All right, well, Michael, again, man, congratulations on a solid second place here, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week at New Hampshire or maybe even Indianapolis.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
And there you have it. Final few words from a frustrated but fast as always, a 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. walking away with the second spot here tonight. And now that's going to lead us to the one and only, the man walking away with the race win, top spot yet again in victory lane, the 21 of Todd Gray. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Dave, got you.
Hey, man, 4-4 now. 4 for you.
Yeah, man, what a night. What a night.
Absolutely, man. Walk us through. I know you don't want to give away the secrets or anything like that, but you were lightning fast on and off pit road, absolutely killing the field right there, and that translated into quite a big gap on the track. How were you able to pull off those runs on and off of pit road like that?
Pit road's tricky here. We did a little practice in the practice time, and I usually like to find something on the wall or some kind of marker. And there's really none here, so basically you're just winging it. Honestly, you can probably see there a couple times. I was a little close to the outside of the pit road there. But, I know Michael was fast. I seen him come in for his first pit stop and thought I need to try to beat him there a little bit because he was fast. We were stalking him there early and trying to save some fuel, and getting those couple laps, fresher tires definitely help. But yeah, just get on pit road and hold your breath. I mean, it's a little bit of practice, some luck, and just hold your breath.
Well, I gotta. It may be a weird question here. I don't know. It may be out of my element asking this one, but you've got a 4-4. Do you think we can make it a 6-pack on the regular season?
Oh yeah, sure we can. I mean, I think we got New Hampshire next week.
Yeah,
I
New
think
Hampshire and then Indianapolis.
Yeah, New Hampshire. New Hampshire's always good for us. Indianapolis is good for us. But again, you got a lot of good guys here. You got take my hats off to all the guys in the give and take we're coming around for lap cars. That's always important. But yeah, we're pretty good at New Hampshire. But again, we're going to have to get some practice in. And I know there's a couple guys in the league that's their home track. So we got to go in there and qualify good, be aggressive, but keep the truck underneath of us and have something to race with at the end. And yeah, we can do it.
Well, very confident. It's good to hear that. And you got to have confidence with 4 race wins already on the season. So, Todd, congratulations on yet another winning performance here tonight, dominating the field after some great green flag pit stops. Before we let you go and celebrate and enjoy the rest of tonight, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that 21?
Yeah, we'll start with Performance Motorsports for putting on the series here with Swift Motorsports and the job they do. I love Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll be watching you guys tomorrow and checking out the call. Infinite Heroes on board with us. Everything they do for our veterans. Take my hats off to them. Really proud to have them on the truck. Pets in Paradise, Clocks by Christopher. Let's see, my cousin Jess and Trixie, my good luck charms checking in here. I seen and. That's about it, guys.
All right, my man. Well, Todd, enjoy the rest of the night with the race win. And you can tell, I believe it's Jesse. You said Jesse. It's Jessica on the chat. But I'm going to go ahead and just start putting like an automatic one for her because she comes in every week and yells, "Let's go, Todd Cray." So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to type that one in for her as soon as it starts.
That sounds good. She's a great person. She's my cousin, and she supports what we do here, and I appreciate that. So it's really cool.
All right, my man, Todd. Well, again, congratulations on a great run, and we look forward to catching up with you throughout the rest of the regular season and into the postseason, and I'm sure we will.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, there you have it. Very humble Todd Cray. Knows he's got some points in the bag, knows he's got some race wins, but still not 100% sure he's going to just walk away with this thing, giving a lot of love and props to the field here tonight, and absolutely in order because the field is just absolutely stacked with some great race drivers. But the 21 of Todd Cray walking away with that top spot yet again here tonight. 4th race win on the season for Todd Cray, so big time accomplishment right there. Can he make it a victory lane? More, we'll have to wait and see if he can get that done as we continue to roll through the regular season. Just 2 races left. New Hampshire Motor Speedway, then we head off to the hallowed grounds of the Brickyard. That's right, Indianapolis Motor Speedway coming up just around the corner on the schedule. Oh, and it looks like producers hitting those buttons in the background. You know what that familiar sound means. It's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results. Walking away with the top spot. Walking away with the top spot in the championship as well after tonight's winning performance. 4th time to victory lane, the 21 of Todd Cray. Finishing in a solid 2nd place here tonight, the 41 of Michael Atkins Jr. Rounding out your podium finishers here tonight, the 86 of Alan Young. Stretching the fuel and walking away with a solid finish, just narrowly missing the podium spots. Big shout out and job well done on the fuel mileage there for the 11 out of 4X Racing, Chris Scala. The 59 of Jim Thorndike going to round out your top 5, while Jonathan Holston finishes in 6th. 7th place goes to the 2 of Caden Atkins, while Jimmy Cormier going to finish in 8th. The 44 of Jason Harrison going to walk away in 9th, in rounding out your top 10 in tonight's The Outfit 118, Andy Starcher. Larry Poling in the 69 going to finish in the 12th spot. John McMillan Sr. going to walk away in 13th. The 62 of Stephen Ayers Jr. going to finish in 14th. 15th goes to the 99 of Toby Bird. David Cameron going to bring his 10 machine home in the 16th spot. Ron Schutte with a little bit of trouble going to finish back In the 17th spot, Nick Hunt in the 00 with some very early trouble here tonight, and that's going to put him back behind the field, running in the 18th spot at the end of tonight's The Outfit 118. And coming home in 19th, the 37 of Timothy Smith. Jim Ott in the 4, also with some very early trouble. Ott, out of tonight's race very, very early, scored in the 20th position. Sebastian Guggen going to finish in the 21st spot, while Ryan Branchew going to round out the field for tonight's race. Both of those drivers caught up in our very first incident, our only caution of the race. Saw both of those drivers with some heavy damage and out of the race. Big time shout out and thank you to all the drivers up there in race control. Justin Gann, Jared Lipstrew, as well as Gary Wells and Shane Bliss out there on race control, keeping all these drivers straight. Although they didn't have much to do here tonight, you can still guarantee they were pretty busy up there in race control, keeping all the drivers in line and where they need to be. Big time shout out to them for everything they do, not just tonight, but all throughout the season, and as they will continue to do throughout the rest of the season. Well, that's about it. That's about all she wrote. We'll begin to wrap things up here tonight as we get ready to go ahead and head over and start setting some things up at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for tomorrow's RB Riggs Custom Computers Xfinity Series here from Swift Motorsports. Man, what a race here tonight. Race number 8 in the books for these Performance Motorsports Truck Series drivers. Whew, I'm about out of breath, about worn out after that one. One heck of a run by all of the drivers there tonight. And if you haven't already, throw them a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. With that being said, it's a new day, a new year. But stay safe, stay loved, my friends. Until next time, we'll see you in Turn 3.